take this one all the way back inside the 35-yard line.
Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. The first carry now. This is Johnson. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Watson caught on the right side by Adams. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 15-yard line.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Out of the gun, Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And this is caught by Fells, right side. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Hey, Ford, Tokyo! Hey, orbit! Two jet.
Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
I got you, boy. Sunday. 55, Mike, 55. Hey, eat. I'm coming for you, son. Hey, wahoo! Check right. Hey, 57. Straight pass. Mike, 55. All day, just like that. Mike, 5-5. Mike, 5-5. Cut. Hey, over here.
Now Wentz. It's complete downfield out left to his running back. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one covers 29 yards, first down. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line. Now Howard. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
55, right there in the middle. 55. Here we go.
Here, sit.
What do you want?
Go, go.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Go, go.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9.
Switch.
81, 81. Hey, high 7. What's up?
Wentz going to go on 4th down. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A gain of 12 on 4th and 10, just enough for the conversion. And defensively, an opportunity slips away. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Check 99. Check 99.
On 1st down, they run with Howard. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. They run with Howard. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards down to the 15.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Great 15.
55, Mike, 55. Here we go. Here we go.
Hey, Delta.
Here we go. Mike, 55. Right there in the middle. 55. I'm coming.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Wentz. Flush to his right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down.
Mike, check 55, Mike. Hey, tight. Check 55.
Working from the gun, Wentz. Now a leaping catch, he's got it. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away. But they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Over the middle, it's Fells.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The ball is out. Watson lost it, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Charles, a little league-wide news as the Browns were taking care of the Jets on Monday Night Football Week 2. We got word that Dolphins safety Minkah Fitzpatrick continuing the exodus from Miami. He was traded to the Steelers in exchange for a first-round draft pick next spring.
And that means Miami is exchanging a 1, Minkah Fitzpatrick, who they used that to acquire, for a 1 next spring. And how valuable will that pick be? Well, the Steelers are 0-2. Ben Roethlisberger's out for the season. This could turn out to be a high number.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson flushed out right. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. While we have a second, wanted to check in on how the first-year head coaches are doing, because Week 1 was not very kind to them. They went 1-6-1. Matt LaFleur was the only winner. But Week 2, not a ton better, Charles. They were 3-5.
And really not a surprise. And remember, Freddie Kitchens and Adam Gase squared off on Monday night with Freddie Kitchens and the Browns getting the victory. But Bruce Arians, Matt LaFleur, they won this week as well. But again, not a major surprise because typically, if you're a new head coach, you took over a bad team. So you're just trying to build and get better. But Matt LaFleur right now, the clear winner, 2-0 in the early going.
The throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Man 5-7, bravo!
Wentz. under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Check, check.
Run. Hey, rip 5-2. On here. Smooth. Wait, son.
On third and long, it's Wentz. This is caught by Jackson. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
82.
55. Back.
Hey, Echo.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
Hey, we're good.
Bumps up the helmet. Here we go.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Little reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
Second and inches.
To throw is Wentz. And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Got a man open. It's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz in the final seconds of the first half. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes our score 17-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Hey, check right.
Hey, Haywood.
Mike 55. Hey, come on out here. Come get some.
Throwing is Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Hey, kill.
Mike 41. Get him. 41's the Mike. 41's the Mike.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Go. It's 20.
Push him back.
Kill.
Throwing now is Wentz. He finds Aguilar over the middle. A good pickup there.